Okay, now we're recording. Good morning, students. Okay, today we're going to focus Group A, Group A, Group A. I hope you're watching the videos. I'm converting it to YouTube. Don't forget, next week we start with our March assignment exam on Wednesday the 8th, which is on Unit 2, individual assignment. Yeah. Let me share my screen and let me see if you guys can see the screen. There's it now. Share and share. And just give it a couple of seconds. So tell me, guys, can you see this in front of you? Just give me a thumbs up or a chat box. Okay. Or yes, sir. Let me just check. Come now. Okay, people are thumbs up. Okay, you can see the screen here. I'm seeing all your thumbs. You can see that too as well because the screen is on share. So anyway, students, I downloaded 3.4 already from Blackboard. Let me minimize this. And here it is in front of me. So what are we going to... Let's open up the questions. And the starter file. So that's the questions. Basically, what are we going to focus on today in Excel? We're going to focus on the today's date, which we did in 3.3. Substitution, very important. Concatenate, very important. Joining of words. And count if, count A and count blank. Renaming a sheet, everything. So that's basically the outcomes that we're going to cover, and headers and footers. And I think we did that already in the other years, but we'll go through it again. And let's start. Now, don't get confused there by 0.6, but anyway, we'll get to that. Where are we now? Minimize my screen, and let me open up the starter file. So basically, what must we do? We must make, let's make the screen a bit bigger. This is what we call a blank file, or a starter file, or a data file, or a skeleton file. So we need to make this look like that by answering these questions over here.
I'm afraid.
Someone is talking while I'm talking. Let me just go and mute the chat box. And let me just see if my settings and people, and let me mute everybody, mute everyone. Okay. You guys will speak and ask questions, or you can chat in the chat box if it's something of an urgent, But remember, these are all the people that are in the session. Let's minimize the screen again. So here's my question, students. And we're going to answer the questions to make the starter file or data file, which is this over here. We're going to make it look, at the end of the lesson, look like this over here. So far, so good. So let's start. Question 1. We're going to rename the sheet 1 to integration. So we are in sheet 1. These are my sheets. Sheet 2, you can add a sheet. Right click, you can delete the sheet with a mouse. And sheet 2 was blank. And sheet 1 has got our information on here. So we're going to rename it by right clicking with my mouse on that sheet, my pointer, right click. And I left click and I say rename. And I click on rename. And we're going to type in the word integration. Right, people? That's already 2 marks, capital letter, capital I. That's already 2 marks of your exam. I'm basically, as I'm coming along, I will give you a mark allocation as per. So you can expect something like this already in your May, June exam. These type of things are basically gonna come in. Okay, I'm just having a sip of water in between while we chat. And I'm going to minimize and maximize between my question and starter file, between my question and starter file over there. And here we go. So I'm going to highlight question 1. We did it. Done. And now they're going to ask me to delete sheet 2, which is, like I just did now, I left click on the sheet with my mouse, I right click with my mouse, and I left click and I say delete. In other words, no more sheet 2. If you want to add a sheet, we can add a sheet. If you want to add another sheet, we can add another sheet. If you want to delete the sheet, we right click. You click on the plus sign for adding, or you can insert. One of the two. But in this case, delete, right click, left click, and delete. Okay. In cell C2, we must use the text today formula that runs in a certain sequence to insert today's date, which is what? The 30th of the 3rd month, March 2026. So, let me show you. There's different types of dates, people. I'm going to do it roughly here. We did in Unit 2, 3.2 or 3.3, the basic today's date. Formulas. Recently used. There's today. But they're not asking for this today. That's the one that we did in the previous exercise, and I click on OK. But now, and I'm going to delete. Can you see the formula bar over there? That is the formula for the basic today's date. But they want us to use a text today's date. Now it gets a bit tricky. And now we're not going to use the formula bar. We are actually going to use manual typing in. All right. Let's just see something. Okay. And we minimize. We continue. And minimize this box here on the right-hand side. Okay. So I'm going to delete this one. Take note of that. That's the basic today. But now they want me to text today. So when you see in the exam, this part here, that's why I bold it. There's a reason why it's bold. And there's a reason why they want me to type it in a certain sequence, a certain way. All right. So in cell C2, column C, row 2, 2C, in that cell over there, they want me to use a function to insert the text today's date. Can you see the different ways how they can ask the question? All right, let me have a sip, and I'm going to show you right now. Now it gets tricky. Is equal to text. Double click once. Or double click. Today. Double click again. Close my brackets. Semicolon. Open inverted commas. And they want me to type it in the sequence of the year, the month, and the date. So we in year 2026 with a hyphen or a minus sign. Oh, in this case is a division, the dash sign, which you find on your keyboard to the right, and the month, which is the 03 month, and another dash, and today's date, which is DD. Right? In BOM-DASH mathematics, with close inverted commas, if you open a bracket on the one side, you must close the bracket on the other side. Make sense? So look at that formula in the formula bar. So when they ask you a question in the exam, insert today's date. That's the plain simple one like I showed you before, like in Unit 3.3. But if they ask you, insert a text today's date, there's a difference, like I'm doing right now. And I click enter on my keyboard, and that is what appeared. The year 2026, MD, and then the month MM, which is March, and the DD for the date is the 30th. So check that over there. You get 3 or 4 different type of dates formulas, and I will do that later on, say, in our exercises, when I'll give you an overview of all the different types of dates. You get the today's date, You get the today's date when we must add more days to the date. You get the ticks today's date, which is this one here. And then you get the now date. The now date is giving you the date and time in the now time. In other words, it is now 9:30 the time on the 30th of March 2026, but I will show you all the different type of dates later on. So for now, we focus on the text today's date. So watch out for that one. This is about 3-4 marks in your exam, students. Take note. Right, next question. They want me to use substitution. So let's see. In cell B5 and cell D, I'm going to do that too, kind of together. We're going to substitute the word daughter, and we're going to substitute it when, not the word replace, but we're going to change the word daughter to name. And then we're going to change the word daughter 2 to surname. So daughter 1, we're going to change to name, and daughter 2, we're going to change to surname. And there's a formula that we're going to use it, to apply it. So in B5 and in C5, they want me to use the word name in there, and they want me to change the word daughter 1 to name, and they want me to substitute daughter 2 to surname. All right. So in B5 and in C5, right, in cell B5, here we go, the formula. Let's see if we used it recently. Okay. If not, we're going to go find the function, and I'm going to type in here substitute. Can you see? And I'm going to say go or enter. And there it appears at the bottom, and I'm going to click on OK. So students, this is the substitute formula and the various menus that we're going to do. So what is the text that we are currently going to use, which is daughter 1 in cell B4. Then we're going to click in what is the old text, the word. We're going to type it in, which is called daughter 1. And they want me with a space, and they want me to change it to a new text called or named name. They want me to change daughter 1 to the new text name. So let's see what happens. If I click in the other block, look at the preview. The word name is going to appear in cell B5. 1, 2, 3 marks, students. And okay. Can you see? Look at the formula bar. Look at that formula bar. When I say formula bar, that is your actual 3-4 marks. Now they want me to do exactly the same thing here, students. But in this cell over here for daughter 2, and instead of name, they want me to change daughter 2 to surname. Same thing. I click in cell C5. Let's see the question. C5. Change to surname. Right, here we go. Is equal to substitute, and we used it recently over there. What is the text? In this case, daughter 2 now, which is C4. What is the actual text? We're going to type it in. The actual text is daughter 2 that we're going to change to a new text called surname. And if I click away, there's my little preview box telling me that that answer in that cell will be surname. And okay, people, that is 5 to 6 marks that we just did now. So we covered text, today's date, 3 marks, another 3 marks, another 3 marks. That's about 9 marks, students. So these are very important. All right. Right. Next, let's see. If there's no questions, remember, the video will be recorded. You can watch this video 20 times. You can pause the video. You can see the formulas, etc., etc., etc. All right. Now they want me to use a formula called the concatenate. And what is the purpose or meaning of concatenate? It is the joining or combining of words together. So in other words, if this is a Eddie in one cell and this is my surname in another cell, they want me to put Eddie space Pretorius, my name and surname, in one cell block. Basically, that is a separate cell. That is a separate cell. We're going to join these two words, but we're going to put it into one cell block. And that we're going to do with all these names over here in this cell over here. All right, let me delete that and let's take it from the top. So again, formula. Let's go find him. The concatenate formula. You don't see it here? So we go search it. And we type in the box concatenate. And I say go. And there it is, not concat, not that one. The full name, that one. Take note. This you will do probably next year in AIS. But we focus on this one. And I say, okay. So, step one. They want me to join my name with a division sign or dash sign in between my name and surname. And in the third text, they want me to join it with my surname. B6, B6, C6, C6. Name with a dash in between and look at the preview. And when I click on OK, voila. Let's see. Oh, but in this case, they don't want me to join the name and the surname. They want me to join my surname first with my name. So it's dotted to column or the surname column with a name. So it's exactly the same thing we're doing now, but we're going to change it around. I had it as Eddie Pretorius, but they want it as question. Read the question. Join your surname with your name with a dash space in between, and then we're going to autofill to apply the formula to everything else. So no problem, no stress. We delete that and we take it from the top again. Formulas, concatenate. I'm going to join my surname instead of my name first with a dash or division sign in between with my name. And there's it now. Pretorius dash Eddie. And okay. Another 3 mark, students. Check the formula. Now we're going to autofill by placing and to apply it to that, and to all of these lecturers' names over here. But what do? I click in my answer sheet or the cell. I go to the bottom right-hand corner. You see that black cross? That's a white cross. That's a black cross. And I click and I keep my finger on the left click with my mouse. And I pull it, drag it down. And I release my finger off my mouse and it applied to all the other lecturers' surnames and names. Surname and names. Surname and names. So far, so good? All right. And this is your AIS 1 lecturer next year. And this is your AIS B and C lecturer next year. He retired. He lectures at UWC. He's the part-time lecturer. You know Mr. Jongoma Asanda is our section head. That is a lecturer that also works. And this is also an AIS B and C lecturer. This is the lecturer of Wellington. So this is a real-world example, students. All right, let me see if there's a question, or is that just an admit? I think it's an admit. Okay. Let's see if there's any questions in the chat box. So far, so good. No questions. Like I said, you keep on watching the video. You can watch it again, and I'm going to convert it, and I'm going to upload it to Blackboard. I will show you where to find the videos. And I'll put it on the group chat as well. Right, let's continue. I think they're going to ask us to do something in there, and something in there as well. And this has got to do with count if, count blank formulas coming up right now. So let's see. Okay, so we did question 6. We are starting now with question 7. Let's see how it looks here. So far, so good. We did that, we did the date, and we did concatenate. There's conditional formatting, I see there, and there, and there. We must count the number of females by using a formula called the count if. Okay. And here we go. Question 7, highlight. In D16, use a count formula to count the number of females only from cell D6 to D15. All right. So in this column over here, we see a couple of male lecturers and female lecturers. But they want me to do a count of only 1, 2, 3 female lecturers. And they want me to put the answer in 16, D16, row 16, column D. So what do? We refer to this when we have to count individuals as a count if formula. Let me have a small sippy of my water and then we roll. Right. Okay. We place our cursor where we want the answer to appear. Recently used. There's no count. I don't see any count. And we are going to do a search by using the count if. We type it in and we say go. And there we find him. And we say, okay. So, sorry, how does this work? I'm going to put it just there. Step 1, this is a range. From D6 to D15 is a range or the area of concern that we must focus on. And in this range that we're going to click with my left, click with my mouse and drag it down. And I release my finger. So in that list, in that range, I only want to count the criteria of females. Capital F. Type it exactly the way you see it here. Small e, small, and male. Not males with an S. Female. Makes sense? But now, what? Someone is talking while I'm talking. Please, guys, put your mics on mute. I will take all your questions. We're almost done. I'm going to park this over there. But now, there's a note there. Something is missing from the party here. We need to insert inverted commas. Now, check the difference. At the end of the word E and at the beginning of the word of female with a F. Shift inverted commas on my keyboard and look what happens here now. There was a note before and now there's 3. So if you know and I know 1, 2, 3. We counted 3 female in this range of D6 to D15. And I say, okay, another 3 mark, students. Check the formula bar. So is equal to count if, select the range that we're focusing on. Inside that range, what do we want to count? Only the females. Let's do another one. Let's count the males. I'm going to put it in cell D18. And I'm going to make the color a little light blue. All right. And I'm going to say again, formula, recently used, count if. The range again, same range. From there to there, click with my mouse, left click and release my finger. But what do they want me to count now? Not the females, they want me to count the males. Open inverted commas, capital M, small a, small l, small e, close the inverted commas, and the answer there is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And okay. Make sense? And I can center it, and I can bold it, just like that over there. So there are 7 males, and there are 3 females. That means there are 10 lecturers. 7 plus 3 is 10 lecturers in this range. Of the 10 lecturers, 3 are females and 7 are males. But in the question, they only wanted us to count the number of female lecturers. All right. So if I click on there, check your formula. That's for female. If I click on there, check your formula for male. All right, delete and delete that row. Okay. So let's continue. We're going to focus on this areas here now. So we did that one. In 16, F column, count the number of blank cells. And then the one below, they want to ask me to use account A to count all the data shown. And I think I already gave the answer, students. This is 10. 10 lecturers with 10 data information. Of that 10, how many blank cells do I see? That is a blank cell, 1. Same with that one, 2. And that one, 3. And that one, 4. There's no, when I say blank cell, students, there's no information, there's no data inside that cell. It's a blank cell. So they want me to count the number of blank cells, but there's a way we do it in a formula called the count blank formula. So I place my cursor in the answer where I want it to be, in this case, F16. So far, so good. Formula. Recently used. I must go search it and type in count blank. And go. And there it is. And okay. So what do they want me to do? Let me just move it that side. Over there. They want me to count the number of blank cells in this range. From there to there. And I release my finger. And we can already see what the answer is. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 blank cells. And okay. Right. Yeah, we did a lot. One more to go, people. And that is the count A formula. To count all the data irrespective. How many cell blocks do we see here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Is there a question?
Yes.
Speak to me.
Is it a must that you have to use or the formula? Why don't you just like count and just write the number?
Oh, you mean why can't you just write the number down?
Yes. So if you just do that, you'll be penalized or not be rewarded any marks.
There's a reason why we do formulas, because this is a simple example, right? Now imagine you have data of over 100, 200, 300, 400 information. Are you going to sit and count whole day the blank cells? You're not going to have time to do that.
Okay.
Where we have a
understood.
you get what I'm saying? Where we have
Yes,
a formula that does it for you quickly. Does that make sense?
Understood, sir.
Okay, good man. So imagine you have data of over 300 lecturers and they have blank information. Are you going to sit and count the one, manual count, 2, 3, 4? It's going to take you forever. Where we can have a formula to do it for you in under 30 seconds. Does that make sense? All right. There's a reason for everything, guys. There's a reason for everything. So, now, very good question, because this is a simple example. Now imagine you're working for a company and you got 1,000 clients, and you must count all the number of invoices that you receive for the month of March. And you're going to count all the number of invoices that are still outstanding for March. And then what are you going to do? It's going to take you forever. We have formulas that will do it for you in next to no time. So
Okay,
now they
sir.
want, you get me? Are you good?
Yes, I'm could say, but according for this example, like maybe in exam, are you allowed to write the number or you have to use the formula?
Um, type that question. I can't hear you. My hearing aids. Just speak a little bit. I think you're talking a bit too loud. A little bit softer. It echoes.
Apologies.
Mm.
I'm saying, okay, according for this example, or in exam, like having not huge numbers, are you
Mm.
allowed to type the number without like using the formula? Are you allowed to just type the number?
No, you can't, because then we're not gonna. That is why I'm showing you. If
Oh,
you're just gonna type, say, 4, right? How do I know? There's no formula. You didn't use a formula. But if you type 4 by using the count blank formula, that is 0 out of 2. That is 2 out of 2. Does that make sense? So you can't just type numbers.
no.
Excel
Okay.
is about formulas. In the real working world, you're going to use formulas. I'm going to show you something. Let me just see control squiggle. And I shift to the right. Look at all the formulas. This version is in formula form. Look at it. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
There's a formula, 2 marks. There's a formula, 3 marks. There's a formula, 3 marks. You joined a formula with that one and that one, another 3 marks. You joined the first name with you substitute, sorry, the daughter one for name, another 3 marks. And same for today's date. What I'm showing you now is in formula version. Now I'm going to switch back to normal answer number version. On my keyboard, you press the control button, and next to number 1 on your keyboard, there's a little squiggle, like a dash sign. I will draw it for you. I will show it to you later. But what I'm trying to say is, that's a very good question. So why can't we just type numbers? Then what is the purpose of Excel? What is the purpose of formulas? You get what I'm saying? What is the purpose of using these formulas in the real working world? What is the purpose of the foundations of these formulas that you might gonna need for next year in AIS? There's a reason. You get me? All right. One more formula, people, called the count A. In other words, you can count here like he just asked me now. That is 10. Right? But that is not what I asked you for. I asked you to use a certain count formula to count the number of data available in this range, which is 10, by using the count A formula. I'm showing you the various types of counts. I just typed it in small letters and I say go, and there it is, count A. And it's the same thing. I select my range, click with my mouse on the left to there, release my finger, and oh, that's 6. That's 6. Let's see why. And I say, okay, it is 6. Why is it 6? Because there are data available in 6-cell block. That's data 1. That's another data 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are mixed, rough other data. So there are 6 data, there are 6 cells that has data in, and there are 4 cells that has no data in. So 6 plus 4 is 10. Now imagine, like I said again, imagine you have about 500 customers and you need to do a count on who paid. Let's call that paid. And let's call that one not paid. And I'm going to copy this over, copy, 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 and paste, and copy and paste, and copy and paste. And the not paid ones, copy, paste, right click, paste, right click, and paste. So basically, you're working for an accounting firm or a bookkeeping firm, and you must do all the number of customers that paid for the month of Feb or March, and who are the customers that did not pay for the month of Feb or March. So I know I had 6 customers that did pay, and there are 4 customers that must still pay. That's outstanding. Now imagine you have 500 customers. Or you're going to sit and 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to take you forever. Where you have formulas to do it for you. So 4 customers using the blank is still not paid. And there are 6 customers that did make payments in the month of February and March. Can you see? I just used the same scenario, but in a different context. So it's easy for people to say, let's just put in a 3. But we need to actually count. Let me show you in a new sheet. Let me do something quickly. Right click, copy. And it makes the screen a bit bigger. And paste. 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 We've got 71 clients. Or we have 71 staff. From C2 to C71. So we got 70, let's call it 70 clients. Or 70, we got 70 staff people. I need to know, of that 70, how many are males and how many are females? Are you gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Or you're gonna get confused, you're gonna get tired. Manual counting is gonna take you forever, and your exams is an hour and a half, 2 hours. You're gonna take a half an hour counting this, and you still have to do a question paper. Does it make sense? So I can use the count if formula at the bottom. Formulas. Count if, right, pull it to the side. I'm going to select my range from 71 all the way. Click, keep my finger on the left click and drag it up to the word male over there. And I only want to count the number of female staff in that, of that 70 range. There are 21 females of 70. That means there are 70 minus 21 is what? 49. There are 49 males and there are 21. 49 males and 21 females. And let's see. Okay. So there are 21 females, and let's do it for the males. Count if again. And from there, all the way up, or from the top down, I click and I drag up, or you can click and drag down over there. And I only want to count the number of male staff, which is 49, which I just said now, and okay. So there are 21, and if I add the 2 with a simple auto sum, we have 70 staff. Of the 70 staff, 49 are males and 21 are females. Now imagine you must count this whole day. That's going to take you forever. There's a reason why we do the formulas, people. Make sense? Right. Let's go back to the sheet. So what did we do so far? We did the text today. We did substitution. Check the formula bars when I click on them. And another substitution. We joined my surname with my name. Over there, concatenate. We counted the number of females in this example in the range from D6 to 15, which is 3 females. We counted the number of blank cells, which is 4. We counted the number of daughter cells, cells that got information inside, which is 6. Let me just delete this column to make you confused, not to confuse you. So basically, here is already 25, 30 marks of your June exam that we're doing right now for you people. Let's see what else. I think they want us to use conditional formatting, which is, we covered that, and we covered that. So number 10, conditional formatting. To highlight the text that contains female and apply a green font color with a green fill. Another 2-3 marks, students. So very important. First and foremost, select the area of concern. In this column here, we only want to highlight the number of females using conditional formatting and using the color green fill with the green dot text. And we are in the formula tab now. We must go to the home tab because conditional formatting is in there. Insert, highlight the cells that contain the word female. We type it in with our keyboard with a green color and a dark green font. And okay. And I click away. I say again, we selected the area first. We clicked on conditional format. There's various other conditional things that we're going to go through later on. But I was just focusing on the text that contain the word female and choosing or selecting the color green. Another 2-3 marks, people, exams. Now they want us to focus on headers and footers. And I think in the previous exercise, we said when we go in headers and footers, we what? We work in what page view? Where we now? Okay, let's read the question. Top left and bottom, headers and footers. So, in the page layout view, we insert headers and footers. We are currently what they call in normal view tab, but in the page layout view, which we can't see, they want me to put information at the top, header, and they want me to put information at the bottom, footer. So let's see. In the top left block, they want me to what? Your name and your surname and current time in the right-hand side. So on there, it's Eddie, your student name and your student surname. And on the right-hand side, they want me to insert the current time. But now check here. And check here. And the current time is exactly 3 minutes past 10, and I click on it. And when I click away, it is 3 minutes past 10. If I open up this document at 10 past 10, then that current time will be 10 past 10. So you cannot type this time in manually. You need to use a function in the headers and footers feature by using current time or date. What else do they want? They said something about the footers now. In the bottom left-hand corner, oh, in the center, your student number and your class group. Okay. Center, your student number, which is 250123456. I'm just using that as an example. And in the bottom right-hand corner, we are BCA1 FT students, Group A, Group B, Group C. And I click away. 1, 2, 3, 4 marks. In your, can you see 4 minutes past? 4 minutes past. It was 3 minutes past, it's now 4 minutes past. So the current time will change exactly as the time of your computer time. Now we are finished here, students. We save and we go back into our normal view. which is this. Now, can you see here? Headers and footers do not show in the normal view, but when we go to a print preview, if you want to print the sheet out, look what happens. The name, the time, you'll say will show on the print preview, the print if you print it. That is why we use headers and footers. This document was completed by Eddie Pretorius, or this spreadsheet was completed by Eddie Pretorius at 10:05, and that is my staff number or student number, and I am in group A, B, C, D, E, whatever group you're in. So this is a print preview, and we go back with that arrow over there to the normal view where we're in now. So you see this here? And it looks very much like that over there. And we save it. So far, so good. And that is exercise 3.4, students. We covered quite a couple of criteria. Renaming a sheet, integration, today's date, with the text today's date, substitution, not replacing, changing a word for another word, concatenate, joining one word with another word or combining a word in one cell block, count if, focusing only on counting a specific criteria, in this case females, count blank, counting all the blank cells in a particular column, count A, counting the actual data in a particular column, conditional formatting, changing and using colors to a particular column, and inserting headers and footers that we just did now a few minutes ago, and save. Right, and your answer should look like this. That's it, students. Right, I'm gonna save and minimize, and we're back to our screens. Is there any questions? So watch the video, people. Watch it 3-4 times. If you have data, I know there's data problems. I know there is some connectivity problems. Some of you guys can and some of you guys can't. But when you get the gap, watch the video. You won't go wrong. Questions, my students? Speak to me. Okay. Jaden is a Jayren. Van der Ros. Oh, Van der Ros. Dr. Ivan van der Ros was the legendary educationist, masters. He lived till the age of 93, and he taught my mother at Patswood Primary. Dr. van der Ros. Is there any questions, people? Miss or Mr. Weingart? Terika. I'm looking at YOLO. Lisa. Tina. Marcy. Wallace. Titus. Shirley. Looking at the names here. Who knows about Billy G? Because apparently he was at some function in Kraaifontein yesterday. That fat guy on TikTok. Anyway, students, that's it. We covered 3.4. Don't forget to watch 3.3. Is there certain questions? Maybe you're stuck in 3.3. Oh, yes, that's the other question. Do not email the exercise to me, upload to Blackboard, and it goes something like this. Right. We minimize, and I'm going to minimize. I'm going to go to my desktop. Here we are right here now. Minimize again. I save, exit. I save the question paper, save, I exit. Minimize the screen. Here's my exercise 3.4. I'm going to let me just do something. I'm going to cut this and paste it loose. There. And there. And I'm going to delete this. Can you see? That's my exercise that I just completed now. And that's the question paper. They want me to rename this exercise. Right-click with my mouse. Rename to your surname, your stud number, stud student number, exercise 3.4, group A or B or C or D. I click away. They want me to zip and compress these two files into a folder. I right click and I say new. A new what? A new folder. And I'm gonna right click again on this new folder and rename the same folder to surname, your student number, your exercise 3.4, and what else is there? Your group, A or B or C. Right. And I'm going to select that to click on the one and drag it into the folder. Click on the questions and drag it into this folder. I'm going to move the folder in the center. Now they want me to zip compress this folder. Right? I'm going to right click, compress to, left click, zip the file. And something over here is going to appear soon. And there it is. There it is over there. This is the file in your June exam. This is the file in the September exam. This is the file in your March exam next week. That you zip compress everything what I did right now. That's the file with a zip line. Can you see that little zip line there? You upload to Blackboard. So now we go into Internet Explorer. I go into, okay, let me say that word, stop sharing. Let me take that and drag it there. Click on a new link. Go into Home tab, go into Blackboard. Right. Sign in. Just give it a couple of seconds. Into full-time BCA, which is us. I scroll down, I click on Unit 3. I scroll down more. Submission links. Leave the announcement. Okay, that was the announcement I made over the weekend. Let's just go. Why can't I just go back? Yes, go to Unit 3. Go into this. See here? See that we are here? Let me first quickly go into Unit 3. And you upload into the submission link of 3.4. You don't need to email me. I click. This menu appears. I click anywhere inside here. This appears over here. I click on that money clip. That is like an attachment. I'm going to attach the zip file that I exercise. Where did I save it? On my desktop. Not that one. Desktop. Let's see. There it is. Student number 3.4 and open. And save it. There it is. In the bottom right-hand corner here, you will see the word submit. And I save it again, and the word submit will appear, and a little menu will pop up here to say that your exercise or exam or test or assignment has been uploaded successfully. So that is where you submit, people. Watch this part again when you watch the video. How to submit a document on Blackboard, a spreadsheet on Blackboard, an assignment on Blackboard, a June exam, March exam, final exam, September exam on Blackboard. Your assignment 1 individual on how to submit. Everything, these are the steps that you use. All right. Let me exit. And let me go close this. And here, students, in Blackboard under Eddie, which is my groups, here are all our exercise. Sorry. Here are all our videos. And I'm going to put video 3.4 when it's finished recording. I'm going to convert it. and I'm going to upload it at the bottom over here. So you can find the videos in Unit 3, the recorded folder, and then you look for Eddie's groups, which is me, Group ABC, full-time, and there they are, there they are, there they are, and 3.4, here we go. All right. All right. So that is where you find the videos to watch, and they're all visible to students to watch in Blackboard, recorded videos. So far, so good. So far, so good. All right. And where we are now, back to that over there. So students, is there any questions? If not, I can stop the recording and we can call it a day. And we got quite a full class, 4, 8, 12, 13, and sheet 1, 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15. So what is that, 12 and 12? Is 24. Is 27, 28 students, if not more. So there's nothing in the chat box here. I am going to stop my sharing of the screen. We're back to normal. And I'm going to stop the recording over there. And stop. Any questions, my students?